Right, onto the pork joint. Now, that's sirloin that's in the oven, that's beef. But this is actually sirloin, it's just pork sirloin. You'll know that, but I didn't know if you did. So what I always use is a gilt pig, a female pig. Go for about 0.5 centimetre to 1 centimetre of fat on for the perfect crackling. Now, crackling, believe it or not, in all these hampers, 2 things, if you get them wrong, you've got hell on. If they ain't crackling on pork and pigs in blankets that right, whoof, causes murders. So what do you do to make the perfect crackling?
So with the perfect crackling, again, what I would say to do is get the meat out of the fridge and let it come up to room temperature. Now, don't be afraid of doing that. I know people say you've got to keep your meat below 5 degrees and keep it out of the danger zone and all that, but for the purpose of cooking at home, it's absolutely fine, and it gives such a better flavour and a depth of flavour. I mean, this is perfect. It's almost sticky,
yeah.
So it's really dry, so you're going to get a natural crackling on that anyway. But what I want to do is help that along a little bit. So you can see Phil's pre-scored it all for you, so we're just going to massage a load of salt, and when I say a load of salt, I mean a load of salt, because the pork fat can really take that.
It takes it in.
So while I'm doing this, did you have a question for me about the pigs in blankets?
What I was going to say to you is, does a chef mess with pigs in blankets? Because if I get them wrong, I get murdered. Do you do out with them when you have people at your restaurant on Christmas Day? What do you do?
We don't do out fancy with them. I think if it's not broke, don't fix it. What I would suggest is, instead of just having it as on side of your plate, you could have it as a little canapé. It's like a Yorkshire canapé, isn't it? So we can serve them roasted, stick a little toothpick in them, and then we'll do some piccalilli and some onion marmalade. Just simple, so you're getting sour and sweet. And what I'll do is, I'll write a recipe for those and put them in the box as well, so people can enjoy those recipes with them.
It's going to really help having you on side this Christmas. I can just feel it. Reduced us down to, 1,000 messages rather than 10.
So the same again with the meat. What we want to do is a sizzle, but it's slightly different because we're cooking the sirloin rare. With pork, you have to be a bit careful. You don't have to cook it all the way through if it's from a quality butcher like yourself. It's the supermarket rubbish that you need to be really careful of because it carries tapeworms. So you've got to be super careful of that. I'm not going to say we're going to cook it medium. We're just going to cook it slightly medium well. Yeah. But then again, we're going to let it rest as long as we've cooked it. So it's not going to be super tense. All them juices are going to flow out. What we'll do with the juices, mush a bit of apple into it and you make a nice apple gravy. Dead simple, but we go along with the premise of a sizzle again. So the same again, 130, between 120 and 130 degrees.
Do you salt that again mid-cook? Because when I do my hog roasts, I always keep salting them until last hour and a half, just because they're going to parties and I want to make sure they drink plenty.
Yeah, totally, keep on drinking. But what's also good is when the juice comes out, you baste it and then salt it, baste it and then salt it, so you're not putting salt on salt, so it absorbs a lot better. So the flavour that you get from it is absolutely incredible. And you're tapping this now, sounds like slapping. By the time we've finished, it'll be grating like an old washboard.
Beautiful.
Absolutely perfect. So we'll go into another hot oven, 25-minute sizzle, then we drop the oven down to 160, and it's 20 minutes per 500 grams. So 2.5, so it's an hour and 40 minutes at a low temperature, and then again, let it out to rest, let it rest for an hour. It's always worth getting all your prep, getting hammered in the morning at home when you're doing your Christmas food, and then when people arrive, you can just carve it. Make sure your gravy's piping hot. Your meat doesn't have to be piping hot. The gravy will reheat it. Beautiful flavour.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, don't be frightened of getting your meat out of the fridge. We're too conscious of, it'll go off in an hour, it won't. Get it on side, get it to room temperature. It will not go off. Look after the job. I'm not saying they'll leave it for the fortnight, but just look after the job.
Again, that's going to go into a hot oven, 230 degrees, to get that fat going, and then we'll drop the oven again, and it's 20 minutes per 500 grams.
Top man.
Right, so that pork's been in the oven for about an hour and 40 minutes now at 160.
Is the crackling going to be right? That's the most important
I hope so. This is the money shot.
Boom.
Looks all right to me, that.
That's why we got Leeds top chef.
So what we'll do is all this lovely fat, and again, the quality of this meat, notes hardly come out of it, and that's pork. Pork's fatty. So we've got all this beautiful flavour here. We'll just baste that over, and you can hear. I'm not trying to hug it, but that's where my microphone is. Super crispy. There's so much flavour. I mean, you can smell. I mean, Phil, have a smell. It's absolutely beautiful.
Did you know as a chef that male and female pork taste different?
No, I didn't. So explain that to me.
No, a gilt pig, which is a female pig, tastes a lot different to a male pig. Male pigs go over to Germany to be made into like salami, sausage, all your
cured
continental.
stuff.
Yeah, it tastes a lot
The gamier.
It tastes a lot different to a proper gilt pig. 100%.
Right.
I know farmers who what they feed them, how they give, what the time they feed them, what they've eaten, and to come out with something like this is.
And that's the quality. That's the quality that we're talking about. That you deliver. That we can cook together. That you guys can do at home. Super, super simple. There's no faff with this. It's just really, really good quality produce. And when you've got good quality produce, you don't have to mess about with it.
100%.
Right. Well, let's let that rest for a little bit, and then we'll get carved into it and get stuck in.
Let's get on champagne now.
Yeah.
Cushy.
So that's rested for about 20 minutes, and you can hear absolutely superb. So let's just go in.
Tell you, it's a lovely knife that, isn't it, for that job?
I mean, look at that. Get the camera in there. Look how much moisture's retained in that. That lovely fat's rendered down, beautifully soft, and you've got that crisp. You can hear it there. It's absolutely stunning. Cut it as thin or as thick as you want, and like I said at the start, it's going to be medium well. So that's about a 25-minute sizzle, and then an hour and 40 at 160.
It's at this point my work is complete.
Well, that's it. It's the feel to the fork. You've done all this. You've sauced it perfectly, and we've cooked it together. And we have rested it for 20 minutes. You can rest it for longer. And then, if it's not red hot when it goes to your Christmas table, when it's carved, your gravy's red hot. So it's always going to be warm. It's always going to be sound.
I couldn't have done it better myself.
There you go. Well, there, pork loin from Bennetts. Beautiful.